Welcome, everyone, back to another Let's Take 5 wrap-up episode where we wrap up. Did you just hear my voice did that at the beginning?
You're such a good actor.
I'm so good at this. I used to act. A wrap-up episode for Cate Blanchett. So we finally reached the very, very sad end, but triumphant end, because she's so great, of her catalog of films. The films that we covered, what were the films that we covered?
We covered Elizabeth, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Life of Aquatic with Steve Zissou, The Aviator, and Carol.
And now we're just going to talk about her. I'm Eric Martindale.
I'm Austin Luger.
And Let's Take 5.
It's great.
Wrap-up
Yep.
episode.
So, we went into this 5, and you had seen 3 of them before. 2 of them were new to you. Do you have a new appreciation for Cate Blanchett upon revisiting and new discoveries?
Which 2 were new to me? 1 was new to me. Carol was new to me.
And Elizabeth.
I'd seen Elizabeth.
Oh, you had seen Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had been a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'd seen it. I was mixing it with Elizabeth the Golden Age.
Right.
Which I don't... I mean, I do know why. I was going to say I don't know why. I do.
Why are these 2 direct sequels about the same person and her lineage?
Anyway, but yeah, no. So what was the question again? Sorry, this is the casual episode.
Do you have a new appreciation, a new discovery? What did you learn from these 5 weeks?
I was. What's the word I'm looking for? It was confirmed what I thought about her. I think she's definitely one of the greatest working actors alive right now, and I don't say that lightly. I'm not just casually saying that because we covered her. She really is good. With Carol, I got a little worried during the film that she might be being a little too nuanced, and I don't normally like that when actors do it, but the character kind of had to be that way in order for that film to work, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, she had to have tells, so it actually ended up working for me. So, I mean, yeah, she's one of the greatest actors alive.
I really, because I knew she was great. Like, I always knew, like, you can trust, if she's in the movie, you can trust her to be really good. I was always, I guess, a little bit worried about her range sometimes. So I really was, like, I kept, like, switching out films at the last minute about this 5. Mm-hmm. Because it's very easy to go big, like I'm Not There, where she was Oscar nominated for playing Bob Dylan, a film directed by Todd Haynes. I said I only wanted one Todd Haynes film. I chose Carol for I'm Not There, even though she's amazing as Bob Dylan. Like, that's the weirdest casting choice, and she's the kind of, like, they're those actors who are so, I mean, if they're British, they talk about being classically trained and whatnot, mm-hmm. that you just kind of, you should give them more risks. Yeah. And casting.
She's Australian, isn't she?
She's Australian.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just using the phrase is,
gotcha.
People use the phrase mm-hmm. a lot, and it's so easy to like okay, she could play a queen, you know, she and Judi Dench gets the same kind of things, but if you tell someone who's an amazing actor who really kind of breaks down a performance so well and then lives it so well that you're playing Bob Dylan, she gives an incredible performance where you just want to pick any role out of a hat and say, what can you do with this?
You know, something that I think is really interesting about her, too, is I'm sort of scanning her filmography, and you're right. I mean, to play on what you just said about the Bob Dylan thing, even when, listen, unless you're John Cazale and you died before it could happen, every actor, director, whatever, eventually is going to they're going to make a bad choice, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look at Kate Winslet's filmography, even when she makes bad choices, they're not bad choices.
Blanchett.
What'd I say?
Kate Winslet.
We know why I did that.
It's true, because 2 weeks ago.
Just 2 weeks ago. Well, they don't know when we record these. You know, time is timey-wimey.
Yes, true.
Okay, so...
you're trying to win my affections.
Exactly. So, yes, the character she plays in Life Aquatic is Jane Winslet, and she's Cate Blanchett. And it's not... I know that Kate Winslet is a person, but I'm not mistaking the two.
You're going to be so messed up when we cover her next.
I know. I'm going to call her Cate Blanchett. That's what I'm going to do. But anyway, as I look at her filmography, even the choices of the movies that she did here that weren't necessarily good movies, you understand why she did it.
Oh,
she is very, very selective about the films that she does, and there's always something interesting. Even the films that I don't necessarily like Babel. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. These are not films that I like very much. Blue
No.
Jasmine, she wins the Academy Award for. But again, The Good German, which is, I know why she chose that film. So, I mean, Indiana Jones.
Those 5 films, Babel, that's by Inarritu. He made 2 incredible art house films that really adored and really challenged actors. You see why she would do that. Indiana Jones, Steven Spielberg. Also, it's an Indiana Jones film.
Yes.
You take that role.
Exactly.
You have Benjamin Button, David Fincher. You have Blue Jasmine, Woody Allen. You have Robin Hood, Ridley Scott. You have the Hobbit trilogy. It's Peter Jackson again. The Monuments Men, George Clooney. These are all directors that you would want to work with.
Yeah, I mean,
that you don't. She doesn't have Transformers 2 on her resume, unlike John Turturro does.
No, and you see her exactly, and you see her making these selections. I mean, good grief, man. I mean, like when you look at her filmography, it's really impressive how even her duds are very highly subjective and highly debated.
Yeah,
because those films that I don't like that I just mentioned, there's a lot of people that really like those films, i.e., the Academy Awards.
Sure.
So, in particular, Babel and Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So,
yeah, and those were, I mean, the Benjamin Button character was not that great. That was just one of like a billion characters that he walks through and goes, "I'm Forrest Gump," and then leaves.
I was so proud of coming out of that movie, and literally the first thing I saw with a large group of people, was, so that was Forrest Gump, right? And I was so proud of that, and then I found out, oh yeah, everyone said that.
I think we've all had those kind of moments.
I was like, shit, man. Yeah, I know that stuff.
I saw the film 5 Easy Pieces. I'm like, man, that scene when Jack Nicholson's ordering a sandwich, that's really cool. Do people know about that scene? Yeah, something to know about the movie. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous scenes in the history of cinema.
Yeah, I go, oh, so we all like it. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, and Blue Jasmine didn't have the commercial success, but she wins the Academy Award for it.
And she's really good in it. I like Woody Allen a lot. I'm going to see every one of his films. I'm going to be morally conflicted about that for the rest of my life. And she's really good in Blue Jasmine in a not very good script. Because it's now part of, we're in the very, very hit and miss career of Woody Allen. He can make Midnight Paris, and he can make whatever works.
Yeah. Blue Jasmine,
like, but that one, like, he just goes like, oh, I want to make a kitchen sink play. And she breaks down so incredibly in that movie. Yeah. And it's really, really good. And we almost did it on this podcast, but I think we'd be too distracted by the fact that it's a bad movie with a great performance.
Yeah, we don't really like that film. That's our unpopular opinion. And also, she does a great job of breaking the mold as a female actress, or a female actor rather, because she's never compartmentalized. She's never her performance is never with a caveat. She's always playing strong female world shakers in these plots. We mentioned authority here. In the case of I'm Not There, she plays Bob Dylan, but they're always, even when she's not the lead, she has a presence that affects the entire through line of the film.
I just always think of her as very reliable casting. And truly that's what The Monuments Men is. The Monuments Men is a cast of reliable actors. It's not a very good movie. In fact, it's a very, very boring script that doesn't work. But it stars George Clooney, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, John Goodman, Cate Blanchett. It's like, oh yeah, those are all really good actors. Like they can do a lot with a little, and they have to in this movie. But you can trust her, and I keep using the word authority every single time because she just has that presence. Like that's why you cast her in some of these roles. But also, I love the really small roles she does. I love the really weird Jim Jarmusch film, Coffee and Cigarettes. It's a movie.
I thought we mentioned that.
But many vignettes in that film, and she has one where she has an identical twin, and basically she's Cate Blanchett, and her twin isn't. It's just kind of a great piece of the two of them, one famous, one not, conversing while waiting for an event, and then they're having coffee and cigarettes. That's great. I love Notes on a Scandal.
I was going to mention Notes on a Scandal.
So close to putting that one here, too.
Yeah, we were very close to putting that in. That's sort of an unsung one. It was a screenplay written by Patrick Marber, who did more famously Closer. But again, you see why she picked picked it, because this was right after Closer, which was a very, very highly nuanced, character-driven drama that was a very meaty... the movie was very meaty for the actors. There's not a bad role in Closer. And now this guy's going on, and has this other script, and it's falling right off that. Notes of a Scandal, and it's a really, really good movie.
And it was also an acclaimed book that was very good. Mm-hmm. And unlike Carol, I've read that book. And I did finish Lord of the Rings, and the Galadriel section is really good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The gift-giving.
The gift-giving's really good sequence.
Now, we would be remiss. I'm bringing back an old era catchphrase here. A cat phrase, actually. It's like a catchphrase, only it's with a cat. He smiled.
No, I don't get what you're saying.
I was going to say, I'd be remiss. I said I'd be remiss. I said that in earlier podcasts.
No, I get that part. So, where's the cat go in?
No. Forget the cat. We moved on. We move on. You got to bring up The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, because that is, without a doubt, the greatest film in her filmography, right?
It is worse than Crystal Skull.
Ooh, they're very similar in a lot of different ways.
Because Crystal Skull has Karen Allen smiling in it, which honestly makes up the last third of the film for me. It's the best part.
Yeah.
And Battle of the Five Armies, no one smiles for 2.5 hours. So
I just remember a lot of roaring and charging. The Battle of the Five Armies is a horrible movie.
It's the worst film of her career. I mean, I marked down all like the big noticeable ones, so that it might be like something just completely obscure I don't know about. But yeah, that's terrible. And she has to do ridiculous fight scenes against nothing for 2.5 hours.
You know, I started to think Robin Hood, but no, it's
I have not seen Robin Hood.
I've seen it. It's not good, but Five Armies is worse because Robin Hood, at the very least, has Martin Keamy from Lost in it. So
nice. You know what was surprisingly good? What? Cinderella.
I didn't see it.
She's great in it. She's the evil stepmother, and I mean, right now Disney's doing this weird thing where they're making live-action films of all of their canon, just to kind of reiterate how good the canon is. That's not me being cynical. That was in their keynote address to their people. Yeah. That they're just kind of reinforcing their brand. So it's for most of the time, it's a fine movie. Looks pretty. Kenneth Branagh directed it. Lady James is very good. Yes, that blue dress is incredible. Even I can recognize that, and I'm an idiot who's literally wearing a t-shirt and jeans right now. But Cate Blanchett as the evil stepmother was so... I mean, she gets to play
Did
nasty.
She have a lot of authority?
She did! But she plays nastiness in a very gleeful way, but then also she brings actually a lot of heartache to the character. Like, it's actually a really, really good performance in what could have been a very two-dimensional nothingness.
Yeah, and that's always good. And I haven't seen the film, but that's always good when it doesn't come off as forced. Mm-hmm. I always like just one-dimensional characters that imply layers rather than having actually seen them.
And that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, that's always really rich to me because there's a lot of headcanon that develops. Like, for instance, with the Joker in The Dark Knight. He's a one-dimensional character, but we have layers... We can see layers of nuance in the performance that implies something richer than that.
So you're saying if you have a role like that, and let's say an actually bad actor who accidentally won an Oscar took the performance, it wouldn't be as good?
What
Jared Leto.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I blocked that from my mind. But
it's still in theater. Doesn't record this.
Well, I think that the point in The Dark Knight. I'm not going to spend much time on this, but he's just an elemental force, right? That's the idea. But there's also implied, whether he's lying or not, a past that is very, left a lot of scars.
Well, you
literally
you get an actor with the right performance, and you have. It kind of is to me the rule of thumb for ambiguity in a film. I don't need to know all the answers, but if you can convey that the filmmaker or the actor knows what they believe, they don't have to show us. They don't even telegraph it. But if I believe that, then it works. And I think that's really a lot what Ledger did there. And I can look down at this right now.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Absolutely. Because what she's doing there is exactly that.
Well, Sarah brought up in our Fellowship of the Ring podcast just how true she really is to the character with how little she is in the film. And she's referencing the Tolkien canon that exists outside the films, and will never, a lot of it, well, it will never be in films ever, in reference to the Silmarillion, which is, where the character, I know the book was published after, but where the character sort of makes birth. But she's able to encapsulate all that majesty for all the people that do know that stuff, without, schmucks like me that when I first saw it didn't know that. I do now, but went in there and was saying, oh, there's a deep history to this character, and Cate Blanchett provides that. She provides it really well.
You say that, but it was one of the red carpet interviews for Battle of the Five Armies where someone asked Ian McKellen, so how did it feel playing the last time you're going to play Gandalf? He said, oh, I'm sure if Peter has the chance, we're making the Silmarillion. So it might happen.
I don't think so, because of the way
Hobbit bombed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it bombed in the sense that a Hobbit movie should have done better.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it made a fortune, but still.
Well, if Peter Jackson gets one more giant hit and then asks him, what do you want to do next? And he has a really mischievous grin on his face, who knows?
He's a hack. He made 3 of the greatest films in American history. Okay? I mean, I know they're American films.
World cinema,
sure. But good grief.
He's made one more really good film, which is Heavenly Creatures, starring Kate Winslet.
Oh, you mean Cate Blanchett?
Maybe.
I'm sorry, the Hobbit movies are terrible. Deadly Bones is a disaster.
Lovely Bones.
King
Kong is stupid. With some really good moments.
King Kong's really stupid. That is a really dumb movie.
The Frighteners is pretty stupid.
The Frighteners I like more than King Kong.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Because anything Michael J. Fox touches it's just infinitely better.
You know what's better than The Frighteners? It's the gag reel that they have a montage.
A gag reel is better.
No, gag reel of The Frighteners where Michael J. Fox accidentally keeps calling his co-star Doc. He does the whole shoot. He keeps going, Doc, we gotta go. Sorry. Yeah, he just...
Wow.
That is better than the film. It's him accidentally keep saying Doc.
That's probably better than the film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I was about to say something else about the Frighteners. Never mind.
Sure.
Moving on.
Also, she was in a film this year that I liked more than others, but it was the new Terrence Malick film, Knight of Cups. And it is definitely a Malick film that I walked away with way less thoughts about than a lot of his more recent films. And I'm worried that the film's a bit too empty. Wouldn't mind watching it again, but it really was... It was good, but when you make a film like that, it needs to be great.
But again, look who she's working with.
Yeah, it's Malick, and she's incredible in it, because everyone's incredible in it. I just don't know what they're whispering about, but they're whispering about something.
Yeah, she got off on a great start here because she did Elizabeth, and Elizabeth allowed her to actually be selective.
Yeah.
And she, from the very beginning, marketed herself correctly. I mean, just 3 films later, she does Fellowship of the Ring.
Well, I think it's cool. I marked down some of the films that she has coming up. She's going to be in Thor Ragnarok with Jeff Goldblum. They're both like villains in the new Thor film.
She's putting herself in the Marvel universe now.
And also, she's they're making another Jungle Book movie. This is Andy Serkis doing it. He's directing this. It's going to be like the craziest motion capture thing ever. And she's playing Ka. Is that the snake?
Snake. I think it's a snake.
I'm pretty sure it's a snake, right? That's going to be awesome. She's going to be terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, she will.
Yeah. And also, they're doing a spin-off of Ocean's 11 called Ocean's 8, which will be all female, and she's the lead of it.
We'll see if that actually gets made.
They have 7 of the 8 cast.
We'll see.
Okay.
The way Ghostbusters bombed, I'm afraid it may affect that. Yeah. We'll see.
But with what they have now, like... I don't know. I love heist movies, and most of the actors they picked are really, really cool. And to have Cate Blanchett lead the comedy heist film sounds awesome to me.
Yeah, and I don't mean that like I don't want it to be made.
No, it's just Hollywood is very fickle and often sexist. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying.
One film didn't do well starring females. No more for a decade.
Well, and then from the perspective that the reason why that Ghostbusters was even made because one film with females did do well.
Yeah.
Because in reference to Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
So
it's
the logic's really weird.
It's barely logic.
And it's fickle. Yes, it's changing all the time. So.
As we start to wrap this up, and we're going to unveil our next 5 in a second, I'm going to mention a movie where she is in it for, I believe, 3 minutes. But it's a perfect film. She's in Hot Fuzz. And in Hot Fuzz, there are 2 cameos that are hysterically non-cameos because they don't actually show the actor's face. There's a crime scene, and she's the lead investigator, but everyone in the crime scene is wearing masks. So they had the most famous actor in the movie not showing her full face, and she dumps Simon Pegg in it, and that's it. And the other one is 2 seconds of Peter Jackson plays a drunk Santa Claus who stabs Simon Pegg's hand.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just kind of love in that movie, you know, he gets to double his budget from Shaun of the Dead. He gets to bring in some actual movie stars and then doesn't actually use them. And she's still funny behind a mask, as Simon Pegg can't figure out which one actually is his girlfriend as they're all dressed in the exact same outfit.
I love that shit. That stuff's really...
She has a good sense of humor, and I'd like to see her in more comedies because she was very good in Life Aquatic. Coffee and Cigarettes is a very dark sense of humor. Bandits with Bruce Willis and Bill Thornton is stupid, but...
You know that she was originally in... one of my favorite movies is The Fountain, and I would need the full 30 minutes to explain why it's one of the greatest films ever. But the film ended up being Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz, and I can't picture anyone else, so I'm fine with this. Rachel Weisz in particular is absolutely incredible.
She is super underrated.
Yeah, she really is. But
she would be a really good 5.
She would be.
I'm obsessed with the Brothers Bloom.
I'm obsessed with The Fountain.
That's 2 and 5.
But anyway, that film was originally going to be Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But budget issues, I believe. They couldn't. I don't know if they couldn't afford them. I think Pitt dropped out because he had issues with the script.
And financing was kind of dependent on him. And
yeah, and Rachel Weisz was married to Aronofsky at the time, so she was probably got.
Did she just win her Oscar?
No, I think it was right. No, she did. You're right.
Yeah.
She won her Oscar the year
helped.
before because she won for Constant Gardener.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I want to tell the story on how we got to where we are now, not
emotionally?
the podcast,
Oh.
emotionally. But so our next 5.
Okay.
So
we do overthink this. And I like that we do.
We do. So we decided that this was my 5, but in conjunction with you. I wanted to go kind of... I don't want to say clickbaity, but I wanted it to be very mainstream, for the most part, to film snobs, okay? Or in general, film people. So I...
Because we started off with a very popular actor with very popular films, and then we went popular films, but they are golden age of Hollywood, so that's... smaller.
It's not the fluffiest of the fluff, though, which is what this is going to end up being.
Sure.
So, anyway.
We went independent, foreign, and then we went kind of a good mixture of independent and popular films in this one.
Yeah, so we've gone in different directions, but then to bring it back more mainstream, and I guess the more I think about it, it wasn't so mainstream, but not the choice is. But anyway, so I decided to do a coin flip tournament, single elimination. Actually, well, it's 2 out of 3, but it was single elimination. Wes Anderson squared off against P.T. Anderson. I had the Andersons fighting. And then on the other side, I had James Cameron fighting off against Steven Spielberg. Spielberg beat Cameron, thank goodness. Because
picked them.
I know, but I like to have the 16th seed.
It was when we were flipping the coins. I go, wait, who would be your Cameron 5? And you kind of froze, going, "Oh shit, I got 4."
Exactly, and one of them was The Abyss.
Yeah, because we're just fine.
Hey, I really wanted to talk about aliens. And then on the other side, it was P.T. Anderson against Wes Anderson, and P.T. Anderson beat Wes Anderson. And then in the final showdown, outright, Steven Spielberg won.
Yeah.
So
we're doing Steven Spielberg next, and we've said this now, I believe, every 5, that we can do a part 2 for this person easily.
You could do a part 3.
Yeah, and so Steven Spielberg it was really fun to pick that 5 because ultimately you have the final say. This is your 5, and we really, we broke our secret a little bit with our friends. We kept bragging about our 5 Spielbergs because I don't think anyone else would pick these 5.
Yeah, well, what's funny is this is the only, I think, interpretation. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that of all the, or I guess articulation of, this is my 5 favorite Spielberg films.
They are your 5.
Yeah, they're not only are we doing a 5, we're doing my 5 favorite Spielberg films. So like I don't go into this looking for what are my favorite films. I don't do that of the 5. I try to find varied pieces of their career, but the reality is, and Steven Spielberg gets a lot of shit for being really poppy, I guess, but these 5 films are great films. I'm sorry, they are.
In the next 5 weeks, we're going to dispel that.
Yeah, I mean, really, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that. But yeah, so not all these, 2 of these films would have been in there no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and give them to you. So the first film we are covering is Jaws. The second film we are covering is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The third film we're covering is Schindler's List. The fourth film, Minority Report. And the fifth film, Munich. So those are the films we'll be covering. Now, Austin's laughing because it's really dark in here and he had to shine a light on the film as I read them off. But I knew them because I know what my 5 favorite are.
Okay.
Now, the 2 films that definitely would have been on there are Jaws and Schindler's List, no matter what. I think we can all agree, as a society, we can agree those are 2 of his 5 best films. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is going to be a point of contention because that is everyone's second favorite Indiana Jones movie, usually.
It's starting more of a coin flip for people.
Yeah, because I feel like Raiders, but you would do Raiders, you would think. You would do Raiders. But I think Last Crusade's the better film, and I love Raiders. But Last Crusade, I think, is incredible. Schindler's List, yes, that would have been on there no matter what. Minority Report, I find to be unbelievably underrated as the years go on. I mean, this was the film Roger Ebert picked as the best movie of the year that year. It is one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever. Action sci-fi, it's an unbelievable film.
I'm most excited about rewatching that.
Rewatching that? Oh, God, I love that movie. And then Munich's the one that's... a lot of people go one way or the other on it. I love this film. It stars an actor that I'm actually not a huge fan of, Eric Bana, but I had a very personal reaction to that film, and I don't know why. I mean, I'm not Jewish. I'm not part of the Palestinian-Israel conflict. I'm not that, but for whatever reason, it's an action film with a lot of death in it. But I've never seen that type of film paced so deliberately. And each piece is put together with such care. It was my favorite movie of 2005, which was one of the best years of cinema in the 2000s. So
I have not seen that since theaters. I'm very excited to rewatch it.
Okay. So we'll see how it goes on that. I just ordered it on Blu-ray. I had it on DVD, so maybe we'll watch it together. We'll get sad together.
Maybe I'll take that DVD of yours. Or yeah.
Yeah, you can just have the... if you like the film. Do you remember liking the film?
I did, except for one scene.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know what scene it is. It's weird.
I think everyone does.
It's bizarre, but the point of the scene...
No, I get the point of the scene.
It's still weird.
It's very telegraphed.
It's a scene where they have sex.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we're talking about the same scene.
I want you to just press stop and go, what scene? That. No.
Yeah, what if I was on a different scene?
Totally wrong.
Anyway.
All right,
so,
this is our casual episode.
Yeah, this is a casual... Definitely that. So you want to take us out of here, Austin?
Yeah, this is this was really fun. I enjoyed this 5 weeks. I want to cheers to Cate Blanchett. There we go. We're sober.
We're method actors.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on the Cate Blanchett films. You can put a comment on this thread or any thread that we've covered at theartimmortal.com. Follow us on Twitter at theimmortalspod. Email us at letstake5@theimmortals.com. If you listen to the other podcast, The Immortals, the main movie we're covering tomorrow is The King of Comedy. This will be our first Scorsese. And that'll be fun. I don't know what they're going to think of it. It's a weird one. And but also in 2 days...
It is a weird movie.
Yeah, in 2 days, we are going to have our very first Spielberg film, which will be Jaws. And where else can we find you?
You can find me at Constant Diversion. That's my YouTube channel. I review video games. Check it out.
especially if you want to prepare for Indiana Jones episode.
Seriously, check it out. Like I've never actually really pushed this, but even if you're like not into video games, just watch literally go into YouTube, type Constant Diversion, and watch my most. Well, I don't know if it'll be my most recent when this comes out, but just watch my Uncharted video. It's a good video, and even if you don't play video games, you might think I'm kind of good at it. I'm serious.
I love that. That was a weird moment.
Casual episode.
That was a weird moment.
I've never done that before.
It was so sincere.
It was. Anyway.
All right. We will see you guys in 2 days. I'm Austin Luger.
I'm Eric Martindale.
Catch you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
It's been over 10 years since we worked together on The Aviator, and I think of it every day. I remember when I read the script and I thought, how are we going to do this? I mean, who could play Katharine Hepburn? And then I was at the Golden Globes. I think I was there for Gangs of New York, and you came out to present something, and you sort of walked across the stage in this, I think, an Armani dress, and my wife leaned over Helen and she said, "There's your Katharine." I said, "You're right." And somehow it all worked out. And we got to work together, and it was astonishing and moving, genuinely and continually for me. And since then, I've marveled with the work you've done with all these other directors. I've marveled, and I've become increasingly irritated by this. I mean, Todd Haynes, and Todd knows I love his work for years. I mean, but, you know. So, when are we going to work together again? So, congratulations, Kate, to you, and my love to you and your family, and have a wonderful night.